Guys, and welcome to my channel. I'm new to YouTube, and I wanted to jump on here and discuss the latest thing that's going down, the latest drama over at the House of Mouse and Lucasfilms, and that is with a YouTuber that goes by the name of Star Wars Theory. He has a really large following on his channel of over 2 million followers. He's a big Star Wars fan, and he posted a video of him being a little emotional while he was watching the season finale episode of season 2 for The Mandalorian. Now, he wasn't alone in his excitement or even his emotion, as there were several people who posted videos either jumping for joy or just being really excited or just, crying because they were emotional to see their childhood hero, the man, the best Jedi ever. If you haven't seen it yet, yes, Luke Skywalker shows up to save the day in all of his badass glory. So, this guy wasn't alone. And he also shared that he has a strong connection to Star Wars because this was his childhood hero when he was 6 years old and he was battling cancer. This kind of helped him get through it. But not just that, a lot of people actually grew up with watching Star Wars and having Luke Skywalker just be the hero that we all fell in love with. I know for a fact that he's my favorite Jedi, and I enjoyed watching his journey. So you have this guy who works at Lucasfilms, and his name is Pablo, and basically he accused the Star Wars Theory uh, YouTuber of, I guess, faking his emotions and putting it out there, him crying off this episode for views, and basically in so many words told him to shut the F up forever and to bottle his emotions and to do that in private, which I find really sucky because it doesn't make sense to me. If you create a product, would you not want people to have a strong connection to it? I mean, if I felt like people were that emotionally connected to something I created, I would actually be happy about it. The last thing I would tell them to do is to basically F off, you know? So there's been this thing going on for a long time, though, now with people over at Lucasfilms being a little bit toxic to the fan base for Star Wars. And this is actually Kathleen Kennedy, and since she took over the franchise too, it seems like she's been on this mission to kind of replace Luke Skywalker, and it seems like she's on a mission to replace him with a female character that she wants to make more powerful than Luke Skywalker. And it may be also her trying to replace George Lucas by having her name above his, but she really can't do that because this is George Lucas's baby. This is his creation. He is Frankenstein. you like the no, he's the Frankenstein and this is his monster. This is the Jedi we grew up with. Luke Skywalker. You're not going to get a better Jedi than this. I mean, maybe. I don't know exactly the direction they're going to go with Grogu, but for now, this is the Jedi that everyone knows and loves. This is the Jedi that we all watched go on a journey to discover his power, to reconnect with his father, to try to pull his father back to the light side of the Force. So this was the Jedi we wanted in the new films, but we did not get. But thankfully was brought back in The Mandalorian. Now, the Jedi we should have gotten, the story we should have actually been about Finn. And this is the Finn we should have got. This, the more serious, I mean, not necessarily taking himself too seriously, but I don't like the clown direction they took him in, where they made him like comic relief. But this would have been a much better story to tell of a former stormtrooper turned Jedi, someone who had to fight with what he used to be, had to struggle with what he used to be, and having him get mentored and trained by Luke Skywalker, one of the strongest Jedi to ever live, would have been a much better, much more compelling story. And I could see that if we followed this journey, I think a lot of people would have fell in love with this Finn character. Jedi Knight Finn would have been a very good story to tell. And even if they didn't want to go full Jedi Knight, this would have been maybe a good opportunity to issue in maybe even someone who more went down the middle of the gray Jedi. We actually saw Rey get a yellow lightsaber. Possibly could have been Finn that got that yellow lightsaber because he kind of straddles with dealing with his past and where he is going into the future. So I think this would have been a better story to tell. But instead, I think Kathleen Kennedy kind of wanted us to see Rey as this really powerful Jedi. Now, the thing about this is, we are the fans, some of the fans, not all of us, but there was a certain portion of fans that are to blame for why we did not get this story, because there were some that posted racist tweets, some of them that I have listed here, about being erased from the series or having him come in and take over parts. When the reality of it is, the Finn character was not taking over any part because he was not replacing any character that we had already seen. This was a new character. The stormtroopers we saw in this film were not from the clone stormtroopers. So this was a new character. And there was so much more they could have done with this character than what we got with Rey. And this is not a knock against Daisy, who plays Rey, because she's a fine actress. I just think that she was not written well because Kathleen was trying to go in a direction to erase our childhood, to erase Luke Skywalker. And she doesn't understand. That's a no-go. That don't go over here. Something about this Rey character never set right with me. I just did not see her as a Jedi. I couldn't get behind it whatsoever. I didn't like that basically she trained herself. She didn't need help from anyone. Um, she was doing things that other Jedi had to concentrate on. She was able to do with just little to no effort. And then I kind of hate this thing where everything has to be tied to the past. Okay, she didn't need to have a connection to Palpatine. Palpatine's dead. Let him stay dead. There was no reason to bring him back. You have plenty of other Siths in the Star Wars franchise that you could have bought in. You did not need to strum up someone who basically, we all saw him die. Okay, um, he was dead and he should have remained dead. It was just poor writing. It was lazy writing, and I think Disney needs to go back to getting people that actually don't mind reading about this franchise, that love this franchise, and they need to go back to people who have creative minds like the men you see on the screen. There's something about the George Lucases and the Steven Spielbergs and the James Camerons. They have an imagination and they have the ability to create worlds that we can get into. Whereas I think Kathleen basically kind of piggybacks off of other people's creativity, and then she takes it from there. And there are some people that they can handle that well. They can actually piggyback off of someone else's work, like John did, and make it better. But she's not one of those people. So I want to say, I'm thankful that Jon Favreau has come in and he's actually brought back the Star Wars that we all know and love. And I look forward to what else Disney will be putting out in the future, from Ahsoka to the Book of Boba Fett. Um, if they plan on bringing back Mace Windu, or if they plan on even doing a storyline with Luke Skywalker, who I really hope they do get Sebastian Stan to portray. But I look forward to that. And I have to say that Disney, you really need to think about what the people who work for you are putting out there to the fans, because you created an entire theme park, Galaxy's Edge. And if you're going to keep treating the fans that way, you're going to lose them. And you need them. You need them to patronize this park. You need them to watch your shows. So you either really need to sit down and discuss how they're speaking to the fans, or you really just need to replace the toxic people out of that environment. If they don't want to be there, then hey, do them a favor and get rid of them. But that's all I'm going to say about that. So I just want to say, to those who have worked on Star Wars The Mandalorian, you're doing a great job. Thank you for bringing this back around. Thank you for bringing back the Luke Skywalker that we all love. Thank you for watching, guys, and have a good night.